Hey there, Space Cadets! Welcome back to Rabbit's Refuse, a show where we look at cultural cast-offs, oddities, and unusual children's media. I'm Rabbit, and today we'll be looking at Ribbit's Froggy World, where all your dreams come true. Alright, so I won't be looking at Ribbits after all. Let me explain. I purchased this very enticing looking VHS tape at a local thrift shop, and I was actually quite excited to watch and discuss this episode of this show. The cover art and the animation stills on the back gave me some serious Gaither's Pond vibes.
His neck is long, his breath is strong, a Loch Ness looking for a beast. The legend of the Polymonomies.
At the rumor mill. The rumor mill. Where reputations are crushed.
Wait till you see my brand new home.
By the way, check out Saberspark's videos on Gaither's Pond if you're interested in any of that monstrosity that I just showed, and the links will be in the description below this video. Anyway, I was all ready and willing to review this tape, and I popped it into my VHS player to put it on my hard drive. I noticed after a short while it seemed to just freeze on a particular still frame during the opening theme song. The audio was still plugging along just fine, and I have this relatively antiquated capture system, so I just chalked it off to that and let it go through with the capture process all by itself. In the meantime, I went out to the garage to go clean for 20 minutes while I had some free time. While going through some bins out there, I found an old copy of DOS for Dummies, so at least I have that going for me. After I returned to my computer to check on that final product, I was disappointed to see that it had stopped completely on that particular still frame, and my video feed had cut out entirely. No flicker, no Macrovision style jump and dip in brightness, just one hard drop into absolutely nothing but sound. Well, at least it was like this until the end credits started up. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, everything came back. On top of it all, the audio had this weird pattern of repeatedly just redlining out of nowhere.
Froggy World, where all your dreams come true.
A lot of you probably already know what this means, but for those of you who don't, I'll go ahead and give a short explanation. This is a form of what is known as copy protection. It's not too terribly dissimilar to modern video game DRM or other anti-piracy measures that you may already be partially familiar with. So this means that the distributor, in this case Zondervan under their Zonder Kids banner, was smart enough to protect their home video releases. Good for them. Full disclosure here, I do know how to bypass this kind of copy protection, but in the interest of not getting my fledgling channel obliterated by one of the biggest players in the Christian publishing game, it's only one episode of an ugly, kind of creepy, almost 20-year-old children's program, so let's not and say we did. Also, I'm lazy, and I'm going on vacation relatively soon, hence my parrot head-esque attire. So I'll be doing a lot of my editing from an oceanside room and a beach. Even the Ribbit's tape itself is completely opaque. No windows, no nothing. I can't check if it's been fully rewound, I can't check if it's moldy or if it's damaged or anything. And it's not ideal, because as tapes age, they tend to get heat damage from poor storage, they can grow mold on the ferric tape due to moisture exposure from dank basements, and, well, honestly, they can get other things, like sticky shed syndrome. And in order to repair that, you have to bake your tapes. I'll also have a link in the description below to someone else who had to deal with a similar problem. And Well, honestly, these kind of tapes, as a VHS collector, these are one of my little nightmares. Plus, I know that Zondervan is hiding all of their juicy secrets inside of this solid tape, and I need to know what's going on in here. I need to know. Big time.
Tell me your secrets!
So I guess thanks for nothing, Zondervan. And Kurt and Denise, who live on Street in... You really wanged it this time. Instead, today we'll be looking at God Rocks, 10 Rockin Rules, or Waking Up is Hard to Do. Why do they both have such long episode titles? And yes, I picked them both because of my ever-nearing vacation, and because they're both under a half an hour long. So I'd like to at least enjoy going to the beach and a wonderful Frank Lloyd Wright house, and not have to sit behind a laptop screen the whole time.
Leave me alone! I'm trying to work!
I also picked both tapes due to their common thread of the series title having an exclamation point at the end of it. I'm excited right now, so I feel like the appropriate punctuation seemed festive, I guess. We'll be right back.
Now wait a Introducing the Polaroid One Step with a sharp new look.
You know you make me wanna grab Polaroid, shoot, throw your hands up, flip your head back, shoot, come on now, let's share a smile now, we're all together now, everybody's jumping now, grab Polaroid.
If you want to pick up the fun, pick up the newly styled Polaroid One Step camera and plenty of film, because when the film runs out, so does the fun.
Grab Polaroid, shoot, you know you make me wanna shoot.
And now, our feature presentation.
God Rocks as a series was started in 2002 by Bruce W. Stacey in Canada. The show later evolved into another iteration of God Rocks Bible Tunes. This version was no longer 3D animated and was a blend of 2D animation and live action footage. Bible Tunes ran from 2009 through 2013 and was aired on Daystar, TBN, and TCT. But in this episode of Rabbit's Refuse, we'll be turning our attention specifically to the first ever episode created, 10 Rockin Rules, or Waking Up is Hard to Do. I own the VHS version, but it was also released on DVD. Chip is a school-aged rock boy living in what is presumably a Christian theocratic state. What even are the universes in the stuff I watch? He is constantly showing up to breakfast wearing his Rockman. They discuss the school field trip which will be happening later that day, and the entire school is attending. And Chip's dad talks about the time that he went to the same museum on his school field trip when he was just a little pebble like Chip. Apparently, he got hit on the head and was knocked out stone cold. Oh, to be young and constantly getting my skull smacked around again. Seriously though, true story time. I got hit in the head a lot as a kid. I mean, from kindergarten through my senior year, and I'm not even kidding, I bookended my years of school with concussions. First day of kindergarten, I got hit in the face with a fire door, and then there were 4 more in between, but senior year of high school, I was in a car accident and got a concussion in that too.
Now get on with it.
Clearly bummed about the sudden appearance of a new rule at home, Chip sulks off to school to meet up with his friends, Gem, Splinter, and Carb. Chip begins breaking rules almost immediately in an act of rebellion for what happened at breakfast. Chip and the gang are in a rock band together. For some reason, there's a music performance related assignment in their class. Chip's band's song is called Follow the Rules, and it's about how many rules there are and how
Chip really just doesn't want to follow them anymore. Mrs. Cragg, their teacher, is clearly upset by this melodic juxtaposition and makes Chip sit in the front seat on the bus for their drive to the God Rocks Hall of Fame Museum. The name of the museum feels like there's maybe a missed opportunity for a further rock pun, but frankly, I'm too lazy to think of it right now.
Don't worry, this show has plenty of rock puns for everyone.
The class is being told yet more rules. This time by a woman who considers herself a glory guide in the museum. Chip, of course, blatantly defies every rule he can, leading to his eventual injury. And you guessed it, he gets knocked out with a falling object.
Like father, like son.
While he's unconscious, he has a Groundhog Day-style dream. And it's about the exact same day starting over from the beginning, but this is some wild, bizarro world where everyone that normally follows and enforces rules starts breaking them, and those who normally defy all the rules follow them to the letter.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
After Mrs. Cragg scares Chip half to death and he has a psychedelic trip, he comes to in a strange homage to the Wizard of Oz. As he opens his eyes, he sees a couple of presumptive celebrities, the tablets that the 10 Commandments were chiseled into. They introduce themselves as TC and TC2.
Creative.
They tell the story of Moses and the 10 Commandments. We flash forward to when the display that Chip destroyed when he was being a sneaky little turd is being opened, and the kids' band gets to play at the opening. And we have a weird musical number about the 10 Commandments. It's so catchy that I can't get it out of my head. I hum it while I do normal household tasks. I hear it in my dreams. I think I might be dying. Please send help. Mrs. Cragg joins in with the kids' performance and plays a completely inaudible tambourine.
Seriously though, I could not find any tambourine in this song. I wore reference headphones, I listened at a low volume, I did everything I could to try and track down that tambourine. It is not there. Bruce Stacey, where is the tambourine?
The next day at school, it seems that Mrs. Cragg has taken her non-role in the band as admission into their ranks. The kids swear they're going to tell her she isn't rolling with their crew. Chip draws the short straw and gets stuck being the bearer of bad news. And then Mrs. Cragg commits not only a fireable offense, but a felony in some states, including the one that I live in.
Good job, Miss Cragg. You blew your chance of ever having a phantom tambourine career before you knew that it was your true calling.
Gladys, you believe this? Started out, you and me. Now we're making history. Fleischmann's move over, butter. Now business is booming. Butter lovers, they're moving to move over, butter. All the smoothness of butter, but best of all, sweet creamy buttermilk, zero cholesterol. Move over, butter.
New Move Over Butter from the folks at Fleischmann's.
I'm hip. I know what it's all about. Let's get to those highlights.
Chip's mom looks like some kind of potato gemstone hybrid. And it makes me super uncomfortable for some reason.
I have a question. What's Chip's dog doing?
What the dog doing?
And don't do this to your dog, please. Especially if you use a xylitol toothpaste. There are ingredients in that stuff that can kill your pets, as in straight up poison for Fido. If you want to brush their teeth, there are toothpastes specifically formulated for animals.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Why is it the young rocks today never talk using complete words? When I was in school, there were rules about that kind of thing.
You kids today with your May gift gifs and your slang words. Back in my day, we had the Sunday funnies, and that was enough for us. Go TikTok your Facebooks or whatever you youths are doing these days, and get off of my lawn. Also, Chip's little sister's name is Nuggy, and apparently she is the real mastermind behind all the rules in the house.
Must I explain everything? New rule. No more playing your Rockman at the breakfast table.
Nuggy, you are a genius.
Thanks, Chicky Nuggies.
So the parents' names are Cliff and Ruby. They named their eldest son Chip. These are all relatively conventional names, so why did they choose to name their second child something so offbeat like Nuggy?
What is that supposed to mean?
This image could be great for the band. We could be the Bad Stones, bad to the bone.
So do these characters even have bones?
I just wanted you all to see Chip's beautiful handiwork.
That was lovely, Kitney. Let's give Miss Stoon another clap, shall we?
I don't get it. Her name is Kidney Stoon. Kidney Stoon. Kidney. Oh god, it's Kidney Stone. Oh, what is wrong with the parents in this world? That is an awful name.
Ooh, clever! Somebody saw this as Spinal Tap.
The numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and then
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
No rolling, running, pushing, or shoving whilst in the Hall of Fame.
I guess the whole no rolling thing is a Rolling Stones reference. Man, these guys are too clever for their own good.
You can take home your very own autographed Glory God glossy picture, suitable for framing.
So this place is like televangelist in a megachurch level of conceited and dysfunctional.
Don't touch anything. Doesn't sound like a rule to me.
Oh no, our boy Chip can't read.
I honestly kind of dig this trippy yellow submarine tribute within Chip's dream sequence. I just wanted to point it out so other people could also appreciate it.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
Look, I'm really sorry about knocking down your stuff and making such a mess.
That's okay, Chip.
Pastor Jasper is over here looking like a Ribbit's rejected concept character. I am truly enjoying the wooden puppet aesthetic in this scene. Also, their 2D animation is so much cleaner and better looking than the rest of the show. I am so glad that they moved away from 3D later on. It really looks, well, less dated and a lot more timeless.
Alakazam! It's Color Tile's nationwide grand opening sale. Introducing our 800 DuPont Master Stores. So we zap prices. DuPont Stainmaster Carpet, $9.99 installed. New Mannington Gold Classic, low prices. Armstrong No Wax Tile, 39 cents. Marbleized Ceramic, 57% off. Wood floors, 50% off. Mini blinds, first time ever. Buy one, get 4 free. Wall covering, over 70% off. Color Tile's grand opening sale for our 800 DuPont Master Stores. Hurry, sale ends soon.
God Rocks is very much a product of its time. Ugly computer animation was all the rage in the late 90s and the early aughts, and the character designs in the show are wonky and primitive, and they have creepy floating hands, and their walk cycles are crazy busted looking, but I know a lot of the designs are also creative and unique. And on top of that, a lot of the little details are also really neat. So a lot of the characters have gems for hair or skirts, which reflects real rocks and the inclusions that some of them have, and some of the textures of the character models, the rough or smooth texture of the stones, they kind of reflect the character personality traits for some of these characters. I mean, some of the writing is borderline nonsensical in places, but it won't lose the attention of its young audience at any point. And honestly, that's really what they wanted, right? So, on top of that, over its time and evolution, it did get better. Quite a bit, actually, which kudos for changing and improving your formula. Plus, a lot of the songs are incredibly catchy. The team behind this show really put their whole heart into their work, and honestly, it shows. I am truly proud of them for making an animation style switch. The original 3D art can be, at the least, off-putting, and at the worst, repulsive. But they made a real effort to stylize their art and inject a lot of real personality into their world. Should you desire to see the show for, I guess, religiotainment purposes, it's available to stream for free on TCT Kids. I still have a lot of remaining questions about this universe, though. Where did all the humans go? Are the characters that inhabit this world some human-mineral hybrid? Is this universe related at all to the Steven Universe? Why do the stones eat human food? And I need to know more about their skeletal structures.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more disappointment in the future. Hit the bell to be warned when I post more of my awful content. Comment, like, dislike, all that jazz. Come back and listen to me ramble again sometime. See you in the next one.